What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back. And if you're like me, you have noticed recently that the Alt Art Giratina V from Lost Origin has gone up quite a bit in value the past couple of weeks. It's definitely trending upward in the market, which prompted me to make a top 10 video. The top 10 most expensive Giratina Pokemon cards. I feel like this is a video I should have already done. I love doing these top 10 videos because I get to research and see all of the arts and all of the cards that Giratina is featured on, along with the price tag of them. So now I do believe Giratina was introduced to the Pokemon world back in 2008, mainly featured in the Legends Awakened set. I believe that was the rookie set of Giratina. I might be wrong, but a lot of these cards are very low pop and have some hefty price tags behind them. So yeah, let's take a look at everybody's favorite bug with bat wings, god of mischief or whatever it is, Pokemon that is Giratina. So please, before we get started, give the video a like and be a subscriber to this channel and help me get to 30,000 subs. We're so close. Please, I really appreciate it. So let's get started off with the number 10 most expensive Giratina card that I could find. Now keep in mind, I am going back a year of sales, so if anything past a year, we're not going to count in today's video. But the number 10 most expensive card would have to be the rookie card, I guess. It would be the Giratina Holo from Legends Awakened. Had a list price of $628, ended up having a best offer accepted price of $484 US. This card was sold not even a month ago. It's usually the rookie cards of Pokemon are the most expensive or more expensive cards, but not in this situation. This one right here is the number 10 most expensive overall. The number 9 most expensive Giratina Pokemon card comes from Black and White Plasma Storm. In this reverse holo, Giratina graded a CGC 10 Gem Mint. Was listed for $750. Had a best offer accepted price of $540. Now this is the only graded copy that I could find of this particular card. If you look at the PSA 10 examples, there are none that have been sold, and the only one listed on eBay is for $5,500 as a PSA 10. Not saying that's how much it's worth, I'm just saying that's the only one available. So definitely a very low pop card here. This CGC 10 example is the number 9 most expensive that I could find. The number 8 most expensive Giratina card comes from a Japanese black and white set, Dragon Blast. This is a Giratina EX in PSA 10 that has recently sold in auction for $575. And it's no secret that a lot of the full art EX cards from the black and white era, whether it's Japanese or English, usually go for quite a bit as a PSA 10, as they are almost always on the lower end of the population. But this one right here is the number 8 most expensive card. Coming in number 7, we have a BGS 10 Black Label Japanese Giratina V-Star from the Japanese set V-Star Universe. Now this card has recently sold as a black label for $707. And if you're wondering why I didn't go for more with it being a black label, well, it's because this card, along with the other V-Star cards in the set, have several black label examples, but it still fetches over $700 in auction, making it the number 7 most expensive card. The number 6 most expensive Giratina card goes back to Legends Awakened again, but this one is the reverse holo Giratina that in PSA 10 had sold most recently for $800. And it's interesting to me because a lot of the reverse holos from back in the EX era, Diamond and Pearl era, even the black and white era can sometimes go for a lot more than the regular holo version. And this one here is no exception. This reverse holo Giratina from Legends Awakened is the number 6 most expensive card. The number 5 most expensive Giratina is this very recent sale of the Giratina Holo from Platinum Series. Sold as a PSA 10 for $1,175. And this card has a population of only 13 PSA 10 examples, which is why it goes for 4 figures in the number 5 most expensive overall. Coming in number 4 is another very low population Giratina. It is the Giratina Level X from platinum as well. This card in a PSA 10 has sold most recently for $2,100. This was a sale from about 6 months ago. These level X cards are almost always super low pop. Only having a population of 12 PSA 10 copies lands this at the number 4 spot on our list. Getting down to the final 3, our third most expensive Giratina card of all time comes from Black and White Dragons Exalted. In this Giratina EX full art card in PSA 10 has sold most recently for 2,340 big ones. And as I was saying earlier, these full art EX cards from the Black and White era seem to almost always be very low pop. This one only had 5 PSA 10 copies at the time of this sale, which is why it is the third most expensive Giratina card ever. The number 2 most expensive card on our list today would have to be this promo full art Team Plasma Giratina card that sold as a PSA 10 for $2,890. Black and white promo cards can be very, very expensive, like this one right here. Now, I'm not a big fan of the full art design, but I can acknowledge that these cards are tougher to get your hands on than you would expect, which is why it's the number 2 most expensive card. Before we get to the number 1 most expensive Giratina, let's go over a couple of honorable mentions. From Ancient Origins, we have this Giratina EX full art in PSA 10 that sold for $242 most recently. And then here we have a black label Japanese Giratina V-Star from Lost Abyss that sold most recently for $348. Which brings me to the number 1 most expensive Giratina, and one of the newest ones would have to be this Giratina V alt art from Lost Origin. Boy oh boy, there are a lot of very pricey examples of this card. Here is an English PSA 10 copy that sold most recently for $700, while the Japanese BGS 10 pristine example sold for $834. And then we saw this Japanese black label Giratina V sell for $6,100. And let's not forget, about 8 months ago, we saw an English BGS 10 black label sell for a staggering $7,200, making this particular Giratina the most expensive one. So folks, what do you think of the list? What do you think of Giratina? I think it's not a Pokemon I would want to run into in person, that's for sure. I believe it's like over 1,000 pounds on some of the cards. I don't know. It seems like a big nightmarish creature, and I wouldn't want to come across it in a dark alley. Leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of today's list. That's all I got today, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in my next one.